Looks for three. Bridges buries it from three.
Miles Bridges getting more and more audacious from the three-point line. We see you, sir.
And Grant, for the Cavs to take that next step in terms of contending, what do you think has to happen?
Well, number one, enhancing their ability to put pressure on the rim. When you look at their rate of free throws and offensive rebounds, there is big room for improvement.
It's both from the stripe. The Hornets are in the midst of a playoff drought. Their last appearance was 2015, Doris.
Yeah, B.A., that's the longest average streak in the league. Not something you love to be associated with. And listen, like other organizations, they've hit on some draft picks. They've missed on some draft picks. A lot of the problem has been injuries that have plagued this organization.
Here's Mitchell. He gets it in there.
There's a level of tenacity by Donovan Mitchell on the interior there. Wow, what a finish.
Ball against Garland. Martin. And the rebound goes to Cleveland. They come into this one having outplayed the Mavericks last time out.
Yeah, they were able to execute offensively in a hostile environment, which led to a lot of high percentage shots.
Well, I'm sure they're still enjoying that one. You love going into a tough building, tough place to play, and shooting the lights out. Nothing like silencing the crowd.
Now here's Ball. 26 points for him last game against the Pistons in Detroit.
Leave train,
and
stupid.
They call an illegal screen here.
One of the trickier plays to judge, but it would be hard to argue against the call.
It is really difficult to get your feet completely set, to stay completely still. It's almost surprising to me that it isn't called more often.
Bridges against Mobley. To the inside. Here's Washington. Williams grabs the board. For Charlotte, they've gone 3 of 4. Off to a nice start. And it's Bridges with the jam.
Well, the opportunistic Bridges sees you falling asleep defensively. Up and over the top he goes.
Here's Washington.
Floater.
Great that time from Miller.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
I ain't holding on button on him.
The Hornets have gone 4 of 5 so far. Looking sharp. Out left to the wing. From the high post. And Ball with the basket on the assist from Miller.
Well, you have to be willing to take what the defender gives you. LaMelo Ball gets into that mid-range, makes the defender pay.
And right away, Brandon Miller showed that he was a star in the making, Brandon.
Yeah, he's a 3-level scorer, B.A. He's very
Bro, that's a foul, bro. He bumped the shit out of me. Stupid ass.
And he hasn't even grown into his body yet.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, guys, Teague last outing against the Mavericks had a nice performance. He picked up 18 points, and it wasn't just a great offensive performance for him. He excelled defensively, too. Just another remarkable performance from him. Nothing new. Guys, we'll see how long he keeps this up.
Man.
Yeah, he was unstoppable during certain stretches. It'd be great to see him top that performance tonight.
Well, his team needs him to contribute. When he's on his A game, he just makes play after play.
Well, when you're coming off a game like he had, you know the difference tonight. They're going to load up against him. They're going to try to take him out of his rhythm early.
Cavaliers making a change here. Strus has checked in. And with the new year just behind us, some impressive new careers starting in the NBA. Our race for Rookie of the Year. Well, you look at Washington, right in the thick of this season. He is the guy when it comes to Rookie of the Year. What a year.
Turn this around, kid.
The Cavaliers trail by 14. And Doris, who can forget the 2016 Cavs, the team that brought Cleveland their first NBA title.
And not just basketball. The city hadn't won a championship, BA, in any sport for over 50 years. And for LeBron, a homegrown talent, to do that with Kyrie, that is a team that will always have a special place in Northeast Ohio lore.
On the floor for Charlotte, they've got LaMelo Ball. Green out there with Grant Williams. Then there's Nick Richards. And it's Micic in at the 2 spot. Ball taking his time here.
There you go. Yo, block that shit. Come on,
Nice
man.
shot by Richards. Richards has gotten his first basket of the night.
LaMelo
Yeah,
Ball
kick up on these
showing
niggas, bro.
facilitation. That is pretty pick-and-roll basketball.
Here's Washington.
I should have had kicked on here.
Cleveland's ball as it goes out of bounds. Cavs keep possession here. And we have to take another look at that block.
What a play. I mean, that'll have the offense thinking twice about taking shots in his presence.
Down low.
Shit.
Stolen by Williams. Oh, there's the alley. Throw it down on the lob.
You
What
could
is
just
that?
see how in sync they were there.
That's what it takes to pull that off. The 3 from Washington. Green with the defensive effort.
Oh, that was a great effort defensively. Get a hand up in the face of the shooter. It's so important.
And Ball
Yeah,
gets it to
they
go.
whooping our
It
ass,
just looks
bro.
so overwhelmed inside. That's why they continue to get attacked.
Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
LaMelo Ball is such an instinctive playmaker.
Damn.
LaMelo Ball getting it done for Charlotte. He was dominant this quarter, scoring in bunches. More 2K action in just a moment.
Listen, when you only out, you gonna get those numbers going. Work hard. That's not. Why is this one guy not getting it? What's that mean? He's not a good scorer. That means that he don't stay. And you get 28 and you're the only nigga.
And welcome to halftime. With the All-Star festivities around the corner, here are the favorites to take.
You know me, I'm a stickler for rating these competitions. If I've seen your dunk before, bad score.
Wow, you're a tough. And let's move on now to that first half. Obviously, a lot of work to do for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
The defense has been trash. That is, if you can call it defense. I call it being lazy.
Yeah, it's lazy, Shaq. They've been outworked, and you got to beat them to the basketball. That's the kind of...
Thanks for tuning in. Now we head back to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
Because he wasn't effective, but he shot that bitch every time. But he did it, so that he wasn't effective. You're just saying, so that don't even come to people. Like,
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You look at LaMelo Ball in this game. He's been everywhere.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
At the 4 and the 5, the lengthy pair of Mobley and Allen. Garland and Mitchell, the talented 1 and 2. And it's Washington in at the small forward position. So that's who's on the floor for the Cavs. And we're joined now by Shams Charania. He's calling in with a story. Good to have you, Shams. What's going on?
Well, guys, teams are all grappling with this new CBA, especially the dreaded second apron. Fans possibly unclear on what it means. Honestly, even front offices are still navigating the complexities of the new restrictions. But basically, it has become harder for teams to spend big and acquire new players under the current systems. We'll see, guys, how this impacts everyone moving forward.
Something to keep an eye on, no doubt. All right, Shams, thanks a lot. And Charlotte making a change here. Green is checked in. Grant, the Hornets are a team hoping to end a pretty substantial playoff drought.
Yeah, it's been a long time since they made a buzz in the postseason, but their return could be closer than people think. A few smart moves here or there might be all it takes.
Washington against Green. Fires for three. They get it back. Outside for Mitchell. Lets it go from deep. Sends it home from three-point land. Mitchell's got 5 points.
Well, we know Mitchell can hurt you from outside the arc. The defense better recognize this moving forward.
Ball against Garland. Bridges outside. Pass to Williams. 6 on the shot clock. Green for three. And the rebound goes to Cleveland. Here's Washington. And that one is stopped right through.
Well, just quick with the decision-making. Smart pass by Darius Garland.
Martin, the pass to Ball. Screen by Bridges. Goes up from the top of the key. Ball no good.
Well, trying to find themselves in the second half here. Just 1 for 4 from the field. Can someone in the group get hot? Let's see.
Bridges finds Green. Back to Bridges. Let's go with a three. And that comes off the assist by Green. He's got 18.
He's been a steady presence for them. Nice to have that kind of safety net at the offensive end.
Here's Washington. And the shot goes down.
Soft interior D, and they've exploited it.
And so it's Ball with it. He brings it up for Charlotte. And after this one, they're at home against Phoenix. It'll be a quick stopover at home before they have to get back out on the road. Jacks up a three. And Charlotte another three.
What an electrifying game by LaMelo Ball. Is anyone more exciting than this young guy?
And given LaMelo Ball is 6'7", how does this give him an advantage at his position, Grant?
Well, B.A., he's able to score on smaller guards as well as see over them and find his teammates. His height and quick decision-making are real weapons.
Well, that's just inconsistency from him, and it's happened all night, and it hasn't helped their cause.
For Charlotte, they've gotten 3 of 6 shots to fall so far in the third. Pass to Williams. Bridges outside.
2 minutes remaining.
Garland against Ball. Williams a screen on Garland. Here's Ball. The rebound by Allen.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. Grant, the Cavs making the playoffs the last 2 years. A big deal in Cleveland.
Well, outside of years with LeBron on the roster, they hadn't made the postseason since 1998. But this group of Cavaliers are making their own history now.
And he makes the first, but misses the second. And doors, Cleveland looking to balance their roster, trying to make sure the pieces fit.
And that's been the concern, right, B.A.? Because there's been some positional overlap, particularly in the front court. And this is where roster construction truly matters in the league.
From downtown. And the rebound goes to Charlotte.
Let's give some credit to the defense for how they're guarding this guy right now, because they're refusing to let him get comfortable.
Here's Kolek. Pass to Micic. Good on the shot. Micic has got 6 points.
Well, get it inside to a quality scorer and let this guy do his thing.
Here's Washington going inside.
Wow, showing the ability to create for himself and others. Darius Garland, good court awareness.
Charlotte has gone 5 of 10 from beyond the three-point line in this game. Okoro is checked in for Cleveland. Merrill comes in for Garland. Jeffries checked in for Charlotte. Cleveland. Allen, he's checked in for Okoro. Washington comes in for Strus. And Jerome subbed in for LeVert. And the Hornets making a change here as well. Smith, he's checked in for Jeffries. Well, Grant, we've heard some out there say dynasties are dead. And these days, there are a lot of teams contending for titles.
Well, the NBA is happy to see all the competition. But, you know, this league has been defined over the decades by dynasties. We'll see if their epitaph has been written.
On the floor for Charlotte, Grant Williams out there with Nick Richards. Then it's Smith, then it's Green, and it's Micic in at the 1 spot.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Smith against Washington. Pass to Micic. Williams with the screen. 5 on the clock. And Williams punches it home.
I tell you, this is why Grant Williams, you love to see him rewarded. This guy's so effective as a screener, but takes a pass and scores it. Look